Hey friends, I'm Eric. I am doing a little bit of work on my wife's car. It's a 2016 Kia, and she started getting some misfire codes. So the first code that came up was on the number 4 cylinder, which is right here. I ended up replacing the coil, which I have right here. Just bought one coil. That didn't quite solve the problem. So next course of action, trying to narrow it down, is to replace the spark plugs. So the car has 104,000 miles and some change. So 100,000 miles is about where you start thinking about replacing spark plugs in this day and age. I mean, some of us remember when spark plugs had to be replaced every couple thousand miles or whatever, 10,000 miles, something like that. And you used to have to gap them. Well, you know, of course, we don't have to gap our spark plugs anymore. But I used to have a socket. It must have gotten lost somewhere, but I had a socket that had the little silicone thing in there to grip it so you could easily pull it out. Well, what happens when you don't have that available and you're trying to get a job done? Well, a couple ways to do it. One way would be to use an old piece of fuel line like this. You know, you can slide it in and around the connection and do that. But I found an even simpler thing. I've used the correct socket for the wrench. The socket being, let's see here, how many, sometimes, I believe that's a 16 millimeter. Right there, 16 millimeter. I've had this old Craftsman set forever. Of course, it doesn't have the silicone thing in there, so I can at least loosen that up and then go from, you know, at least get it loosened up. So how did I get it out? Well, this thing here, this screwdriver that takes different bits, it happens to be magnetic, which is great because I've already done 3 of the 4, so I'm about to put this brand new NKG spark plug in. And so I found this works even better. So all I have to do is put it down to the hole and then just lightly start turning. Because it's all being held by a magnet, if I were to cross thread it, it would not go in anymore. But as I watch it, as I watch the screwdriver handle drop down more as I'm doing this, I go, okay, great. Now I've got the socket on an extension. So all I have to do now is finger tighten it till I hear that, till I feel the tension and I hear that washer start to do its thing. But again, virtually 0 chance of the dreaded cross threading. So when it doesn't want to turn anymore, now I know I can put some torque to it. On the box these came in, gives me some Newton meters here. So 12 millimeter gasket type, blah, blah, blah. If I do it hand tight, I'm gonna do a 1/4 turn. And that should be enough. I mean, spark plugs have so much threading, they go down so deep that a 1/4 turn should be more than enough. I've never actually used a torque wrench ever changing spark plugs. I guess it helps if I just kind of go until I can feel it. And now I'm going to go a 1/4 turn, roughly. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing here. Get it to where it's tight. I'm going to go about a 1/4 turn. Okay, great. And then I will do the same thing. And then before I put the coil packs back on, I'm just going to grab a long paintbrush. I'm going to put the grease on, and there we go. There, I just did all the spark plugs on this car. So, different ways to skin a cat. You don't have to have the rubber hose. You don't have to have the specialty socket with the rubber or silicone or whatever's inside to grab it. Sometimes all you need is a really cheap thing, the magnet, and a little downward pressure at least allows you to finish unthreading it, or at least pull it out, and that's it. Now let's get the rest of this put back together. Bye now.